that gang demanding millions of dollars in ransom after kidnapping 17 missionaries in Haiti, 16 of them Americans. Now, the U.S. State Department deploying a team to work with Haitian National Police in the negotiations to try and secure their release. The missionaries had been visiting an orphanage when abducted by the gang at a checkpoint during an airport run on Saturday. ABC News' Marcus Moore is on the ground with the latest for us in Haiti.
This morning, new reports that the kidnapping gang that abducted 17 missionaries is seeking $17 million, or $1 million per hostage, according to the Wall Street Journal. U.S. State Department officials on the ground as the crisis enters its fourth day.
This is something that we have treated as with the utmost priority since Saturday.
16 U.S. citizens, including 5 children and 1 Canadian, among those kidnapped at a checkpoint after visiting this orphanage. The group in Haiti on behalf of Christian Aid Ministries in Ohio. The organization putting out a statement saying, quote, "We continue to monitor the situation closely and are in earnest prayer." A U.S. Embassy official confirming to ABC News that the FBI has made contact with the gang known as 400 Mawozo, the gang considered one of the most dangerous in the country. As gangs control nearly half of the capital city, fear is consuming the country, felt by many, like Godwin, a missionary from Miami who's been in Haiti for the last 3 years.
People are being kidnapped left or right. You were able to identify the people that were getting kidnapped. But now it's totally random. I think everyone here in Haiti has some sense of fear.
He says the alarming surge in abductions comes as gangs become more and more confident.
They don't have any repercussions. There's no security, there's no police, there's no one to come help. And that's probably the worst thing. You're on your own.
And our Marcus Moore joining us now from Port-au-Prince for more. And we should point out, Marcus, you do have security, whatever you're comfortable talking about, but we just want to make sure everyone knows that you are in a safe position there as you are currently covering the security situation and what it's like on the ground. Give us whatever details you can.
Well, Kira, the situation here on the ground is certainly, it's dire, and it's also unpredictable. And so that is what people have been enduring here for quite some time here in the streets of Port-au-Prince and in Haiti. And gun battles are common, and as we have seen recently over the weekend and in the days prior, kidnappings have also become commonplace. And the fact that 17 people were abducted at one time, people here say is further evidence and further proof that the street gangs that run the streets here in Port-au-Prince, many of the streets, I should say, have grown more and more confident, and it speaks to the security situation that is in place right now here in Haiti.
And kidnappings for ransom are common, unfortunately, on the island there. What has the U.S. done to address these sorts of situations, particularly right now?
Well, Kira, the U.S. has sent more than $300 million in aid to help law enforcement here get a handle on the security situation. That's been over the past 10 years or so. And then specifically, about $5 million has been earmarked to deal with the situation with gangs here. And so they've sent in not only those funds, but also manpower. As you know, members of the U.S. State Department are here, and others from the U.S. have been on the ground here previously to aid and help law enforcement here as they try to address the situation that has people, many of them, afraid to go out of their homes. And in fact, there was a general strike that was called because of all of the kidnappings and the violence that's been happening here. So, Kira, in our time here, when we arrived, it was probably one of the most significant differences that I noticed from our time here in July when I was last here. There were no city buses out. There was also no traffic. You might see the occasional street vendor, but other than that, the streets have remained largely empty. And there is a protest planned for later today, people calling for stability here in the country as the U.S., as you have pointed out, is here on the ground and also sending aid to help the situation.
Well, tell us what more you can tell us about the U.S. team there on the ground and what it will be doing in the upcoming days, and what have they already done to try to get these missionaries, including those children, which of course breaks our hearts, to just get them home, Marcus.
Yeah, absolutely. Kira, it's been 4 days now that this group has been missing, 16 Americans and 1 Canadian, and it's very delicate. So certainly in a situation like this, there's not a lot of information that's being put out. But we do know, according to officials, that the FBI has been able to make contact with that gang, 400 Mawozo, and but the exact nature of their communications are unclear at this point. So we know that in the midst of these types of ordeals, it's critically important to make contact with the gangs, and that it appears that has happened. But how much progress, Kira, they've been able to make in getting, first of all, finding out where these hostages are, and then getting them free, still unclear at this point.
And it's heartbreaking, Marcus. You know, they're missionaries trying to help. They were at an orphanage, and now watching what's unfolding is just, it's so incredibly sad. Marcus Moore there in Port-au-Prince for us. We sure appreciate your reporting.
Thank you, Kira.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.